Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another explosive episode of The View, where today we have the legendary Rowan Atkinson joining us live in the studio. The audience is buzzing with excitement as Joy Behar kicks off the conversation with her signature bold style, asking Rowan about his iconic characters like Mr. Bean and Blackadder. Rowan, dressed sharply in a suit, smiles politely and begins sharing anecdotes from his career, delighting everyone with his dry British humor. The co-hosts, including Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin, lean in eagerly, laughing at his stories about silent comedy and the challenges of physical acting. Joy then pivots to a more personal question, inquiring about Rowan's views on modern comedy and cancel culture, noting how some comedians feel restricted today. Rowan nods thoughtfully, explaining that humor should push boundaries but always with respect, drawing from his experiences in the industry. The panel agrees initially, sharing examples from their own lives, creating a warm and engaging atmosphere that has the crowd applauding enthusiastically throughout the segment. As the discussion deepens, Joy Behar presses Rowan on specific controversies, mentioning how certain jokes from older shows might not fly in today's sensitive climate. Rowan defends the evolution of comedy, arguing that context matters and that erasing history stifles creativity, his voice calm but firm. The other hosts chime in with balanced perspectives, with Sarah Haynes pointing out the importance of growth, while Alyssa Farah Griffin adds a political angle on free speech. Tension starts to build subtly when Joy interrupts Rowan mid-sentence, challenging his stance by saying that some humor perpetuates harm and that public figures like him have a responsibility to adapt. Rowan raises an eyebrow, countering with examples from his own work that were misunderstood but ultimately harmless fun. The audience murmurs in support, but Joy doubles down, accusing him of being out of touch with younger generations' experiences. Rowan's expression shifts slightly, showing a hint of frustration as he tries to clarify his point without escalating, emphasizing that comedy is subjective and not everyone will agree. The turning point comes when Joy Behar references a recent interview where Rowan allegedly dismissed progressive views on comedy, twisting his words to suggest he supports offensive material. Rowan interjects sharply, correcting her that he never said such things and that misquoting is part of the problem in media today. Whoopi tries to mediate, asking for calm, but Joy presses on, saying that celebrities like Rowan live in a bubble and don't face real-world consequences. The studio audience gasps as Rowan's face reddens. He leans forward, passionately explaining how he's spent decades crafting inclusive humor that brings joy without targeting vulnerabilities. Sunny Hostin nods in agreement with Rowan, but Joy waves it off, claiming his privilege blinds him. Rowan shakes his head, voicing that this kind of accusatory dialogue is exactly what divides people and kills open conversation. The co-hosts exchange uneasy glances, sensing the shift from lighthearted to heated, with commercial break whispers starting among the crew. Suddenly, Joy Behar escalates by bringing up Rowan's past support for free expression in a way that implies he's against accountability, labeling it as enabling bigotry. Rowan stands up abruptly, his chair scraping loudly against the floor, declaring that he's not here to be lectured or misrepresented on national television. The audience erupts in a mix of boos and cheers, cameras zooming in on his animated gestures as he points out Joy's hypocrisy in preaching tolerance while attacking guests. Whoopi pleads for him to sit down, but Rowan retorts that he's endured enough distortion of his words and beliefs. Alyssa tries to de-escalate by asking a neutral question, but Joy interrupts again, mocking Rowan's accent in a poor imitation, which draws sharp inhales from the crowd. Rowan's eyes widen in disbelief. He calls it unprofessional and beneath the show's standards, his voice rising for the first time. The panel freezes as he gathers his notes, the tension palpable like electricity in a moment that shocks everyone. Rowan Atkinson explodes verbally, saying he's done with this ambush disguised as an interview and that Joy's behavior is a perfect example of why people distrust media panels. He accuses her of cherry-picking quotes to fit a narrative, refusing to engage further in what he calls a kangaroo court. The audience is on its feet, some applauding his stand while others shout in protest. Security hovers nearby but doesn't intervene yet. Joy Behar smirks and retorts that he's just unable to handle strong women with opinions, which only fuels Rowan's anger more. He fires back that strength isn't about bullying guests but about fair discourse, then dramatically pushes his microphone away, the clatter echoing through the studio. Co-hosts gasp, with Sarah covering her mouth in surprise as Rowan turns toward the exit, muttering under his breath about wasted time. The director signals for a break, but the chaos unfolds live, captivating viewers at home. Finally, Rowan storms off the set, striding purposefully past the cameras and crew, ignoring pleas from producers to return. Joy Behar sits back triumphantly at first, but the backlash from the audience boos grows louder, forcing her to defend herself on air as the show cuts to a hasty commercial. Whoopi apologizes profusely to the viewers, promising to address the incident later, while social media explodes with clips of the walkout going viral instantly. Rowan, outside the studio, is seen composing himself before giving a brief statement to waiting reporters, reiterating his commitment to honest comedy without fear. The episode becomes infamous, sparking debates on talk show etiquette, celebrity treatment, and the limits of host aggression. Fans rally behind Rowan, trending hashtags like #StandWithRowan, while critics analyze every word exchanged. In the end, the dramatic exit cements this as one of The View's most memorable and controversial moments ever.